have D.B. Cooper walking down the stairs. As soon as he's standing there, he really can't feel the wind coming around him from the plane going 200 miles an hour. And so when he jumps out of the aircraft, I think he just started tumbling right then. Just tumbling, panics, and once you panic, you really can't do anything. So he's falling, he doesn't know where he's at, he can't see, he has no visual reference on the ground, he's out of control in the air, and starts to panic, can't pull his chute, and hits the ground with never opening his chute. Sun it ain't right. Here we go. Make sure you're connected. The writing's on the wall. But if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall, stumble you might fall. Stumble you might fall. Here is a math equation. This is just an estimated math equation. Again, it's the principle behind the equation, not if the actual equation itself is accurate. It's the concept that you must understand if you are to understand why one solution is to be favored, and it's by a massive margin. It's not even close. And this is what I'm trying to depict here in this equation. So we're going to look at this as a limit equation. The more variables to the solution, the lower the probability, and it moves towards infinitesimal. So the more variables, remember I said in the natural transport you got like 5 variables, the more you add, it doesn't go down in a linear fashion, it goes down in an exponential fashion. This is probability of y, 1 divided by x to the 8 plus the sum of 1 divided by x to the 8, where the number of variables is 2 to infinity, with a limit to infinity. This is what it looks like graphically. This is what I'm trying to get at. When you have one variable, your probability is like 99%. When you have 2, it goes way down, less than 1%. And in fact, the aggregate of 2 through infinity is still less than 1%. That's pretty drastic. So, you have a choice. You can either go with Occam's razor or not. And if I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying not Occam's razor is very tiny probability. I'm going to conclude this video by saying that pretty much the enthusiasts are going to hate my optimal solution. It's not actually my optimal solution, it's just the optimal solution. And I would beg you to argue with that reasoning, that it is the optimal solution. And the reason is because most of the enthusiasts, and by most, I mainly mean the FBI, but there are others who pretty much come up with an idea in their head and they stick with it to the bitter end. And that's actually begging the question. We discussed that in a prior video. And funny thing, there's a funny thing about this. The optimal solution that we found actually clashes with every other hypothesis except one hypothesis that has been proposed thus far. And that means that one suspect story matches the solution. And the suspect has been mostly dismissed by almost every enthusiast. Maybe not every enthusiast, but most enthusiasts. Most people who are interested in this crime, they don't really give much credence to the person who actually has a story that fits the optimal solution. But I'm not here to talk about, in this video anyway, the person. I'm just here to say that the solution is optimal regardless of the name or face you put on it. So even if you slap a different face and a different name on the optimal solution, it's still the optimal solution. And even if you erase the name and face that's associated with it, it's still the optimal solution. So I once posted in the forum that people would be better served to use Occam's razor themselves. They were criticizing somebody because they came up with this convoluted BS. And they were right. But my point was, you might want to look in the mirror and use Occam's razor yourself. Because it's a bitch, isn't it? You fools. See you in the next video.